If you hear some rain and wind outside, it's because it's literally a hurricane outside. So, buckle your feathers in, and I don't know what I'm saying. Hello YouTube, and welcome back to another video. I hope you guys are doing so amazing today. I think I'm more excited about this video than I've ever been making a video, because we're going to be talking about Taylor freaking Swift. I am a Swiftie. If you already didn't know that, that's all I talk about. Taylor Swift and Gilmore Girls, which are basically the same thing. Just one is music, one is movies. I can get into that, but that's not. As you know, the beautiful Taylor Swift has just released her magnificent, phenomenal, #1 in this world album, Midnights. And I am such a big fan of her. I am such a big fan of her music, and this album by far takes the cake. It is I think my favorite album out of her whole entire discography. So if you haven't listened to it yet, make sure you go listen to it right now before watching this video, because we're going to be talking about Taylor Swift albums. And if you like these albums, then you should watch these movies. So first off, we have Taylor Swift, the debut album. This is the first professional album that she ever came out with, and I remember just listening to this in my room, just crying over like best friends I had lost, because I literally was not dating anyone at that time, because I was like 8. Debut is all about that coming of age life of going out into the world and feeling the newness of being seen in the world. And it's all about identifying strong feelings and blooming in a life that you're not really familiar with because you're still growing up. And so to me, the movie that suits that the best is Sleepover, directed by Joe Nussbaum and starring Alexa Penavega. During the summer before their first day of high school, best friends Julie, Hannah, Yancey, and Farrah decide to have a sleepover. But when a group of popular girls and their arch nemesis decides to venture on a scavenger hunt to figure out who is the better group, the girls run around town in the middle of the night to win, experience new things, and learn about themselves. This movie is so teen everything, and that's one of the reasons why I picked it, because Debut is a very teen album, because Taylor was such a teen during this time. And so this is just a moment in life where you're not really sure about things, and you're just kind of going along and kind of picking up what everybody else around you is telling you. And so this movie really identifies with that. It's also a really good movie. It's very entertaining and very comedic, so definitely go watch it if you love Taylor Swift's debut album. The second album, of course, is Fearless, Taylor's version. I'm gonna add in Taylor's version because she owns that now, so we're talking about Fearless, Taylor's version. Fearless is all about growing up and reflecting, and it's also about the mixture of emotions that you feel as a older teenager now, preparing to let go of your childhood. This album to me really encompasses the understanding that you're getting closer to adulthood and closer to the life that is taking on a lot more responsibility. And since this is Taylor Swift's second album, this is also an album where she's becoming a little bit more comfortable in the music industry. So for me, the movie that encompasses this album the best is The Edge of 17, directed by Kelly Fremont Craig and starring the beautiful Hailee Steinfeld. This dramedy starring Hailee Steinfeld follows Nadine, an awkward high school senior who endeavors to maneuver through life after her best friend deserts her and everything in her life quickly changes. This movie is such a beautiful, heartwarming movie about growing up, and it's one that I could really relate to. So when I was looking back at it, it was very reflective and it was very validating to watch, because Nadine in the movie goes through a lot of the things that teenagers leaving high school and preparing to let go of their childhood go through, just like Taylor Swift's Fearless, Taylor's version. Number 3 is the amazing Speak Now album. This is an iconic album because it is the album that Taylor Swift wrote entirely by herself. She did not have any co-writers on her team while writing this, and for that I'm so freaking proud of her, because I love her. I love the fact that she did this. It's also an album where she really tries to understand love and loss and forgiveness while simultaneously being on her own and being independent. It's really an album about learning to speak up about both your successes and failures. And to me, this album just definitely reflects that of Greta Gerwig's Lady Bird. This dramedy follows Christine, or Lady Bird, a strong-willed, free-spirited, and independent high school senior who balances Catholic school, friendships, growing up, and a tense mother-daughter relationship during the fabulous year that is 2002. If you have not seen Lady Bird yet, you need to go watch it, because obviously it is a Greta Gerwig movie. Greta Gerwig is an iconic presence in my life. I love her almost as much as Taylor Swift, and just like Taylor Swift wrote this entire Speak Now album by herself, Greta Gerwig also wrote and directed this, so there's very much a sense of control over this movie that Speak Now also has. And it also has to do with, you know, growing up and understanding what it is you truly want and understanding what it is you truly love. Number four, guys, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody in the world, Red, Taylor's version. Oh my gosh, this album, I think this is the album where I had always been a fan of Taylor Swift, but this is the album that I really identified Taylor Swift as this kind of therapeutic being in my life. Like, this album is just so incredibly written, and then obviously along with the Taylor's version vault tracks, they just kind of punched me in the core a little bit more, not to mention All Too Well, the 10-minute version. Taylor's version is just, I get goosebumps every time. This is definitely Taylor's heartbreak album, and it is the album most about winning, losing, and doubting your emotions in the process. To me, the movie that correlates with this album is Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, directed by Charlie Kaufman and starring Jim Carrey and Kate Winslet. After a painful breakup, Clementine, played by Winslet, goes under a serious and popular procedure to erase the memories she has with her former boyfriend Joel. When Joel learns of her decision, he decides to follow through with the same procedure, and as he slowly begins to forget her, he realizes how much he loves her and how manifold the emotions of pain and loss truly are. This movie exemplifies this album amazingly, solely because it's a movie about the many different emotions that go into letting go of someone. It's not just necessarily that you're just extremely angry at that person or extremely happy that they're gone or extremely sad that they're gone. There's kind of this emotion of anger and sadness and fear and disgust and all of these different things that you can't really explain and that you feel on different days, and that just kind of encompasses the whole situation of losing someone or heartbreak. And I just feel like these two creations are very well together. It's also an amazing movie. Jim Carrey does such an amazing job, as well as Kate Winslet. If you have not seen this movie, you should definitely go watch it. And if you have not listened to Taylor's version of Red, you need to go do that as well. Like, you need to. Like, right now. Like, go. Right? Well, pause this video. Go watch it. Then come back. And I told you so. The next album, of course, is the amazing 1989. Welcome to New York. It's been waiting for you. 1989 is all about new beginnings, new friendships, and the newness that comes with life at the climax of your story. 1989 is also the first time that Taylor is completely transferring over to pop music, because, as you know, she was solely a country artist before that, kind of experimented with Red, and then 1989 was solely pop. So this is a very new thing for her. So 1989, as I said before, is just all about newness and all about transferring over to a different image. It's also spunky and girly and cool, just like Legally Blonde, directed by Robert Luketic and starring Reese Witherspoon. Everybody wants to be Elle Woods. She has it all: the good looks, the bank account, and the dreamy boyfriend Warner. But when Warner dumps her because she isn't political enough for his new image, Elle drops everything and enters the Harvard world, ultimately proving to herself and those around her that she truly still does have it all. This movie is just such a perfect example of 1989, because it's really Taylor taking over her image and saying, hey, you know what? Even though you guys might be doubting me and everything, I best believe I'm still bejeweled when I walk in a room. Okay? In the same way, Elle Woods is really just kind of retaking that role, and even though Harvard is something that's so new to her, she just kind of takes charge and ends up being one of the best lawyers in lawyer history. Alright guys, so that is part one of if you like these Taylor Swift albums, watch these movies. So make sure you go watch part two when it's out. I hope you guys did like this video. Let me know what your favorite Taylor Swift album is down below and what movies you think encompass those albums perfectly. Make sure you give this video a huge thumbs up so I don't to make more additional content like this, and don't forget to click the subscription button down below and click the notification bell so that YouTube can notify you every time that I do upload a video. I leave all of my social media links in the description box below so that we can catch up and become the best of friends. And thank you again for watching this video. I love you guys so much, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye!